besties. Welcome back to another episode of the Baddie Besties podcast. I'm your host, Alyssa.
And I'm your co-host, Samira, aka Samski.
And today we have another Hey Barbie episode for you called Runway Royalty, from international model to swimwear mogul, with the beautiful and talented Mary Timms. Hey, Mary.
Mary!
Hi.
Thanks for joining us, babe.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, we are so excited. Just a little fun fact, y'all. Mary, how we met, believe it or not, like she feels like my bestie. We met not too long ago. I would say less than a year ago.
Yeah, actually.
Less than a year ago, we met on set.
Yeah.
We met on set in New York. And ever since then, you know, I connected with this girl and I was like, you know what? Not only are we going to be friends, but I need to drag her on this podcast.
Well, I'm glad I'm here. You don't have to drag me because I will come willingly. But I'm glad that I'm here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And I just wanted to, before we get into this, just give some background onto what this series is. It's called Hey Barbie. Okay. And it's all about just a background. Barbie, according to BuzzFeed, had over 250 jobs. So Barbie has been booked and busy. And if you haven't watched our Hey Barbie episodes, we want you to know that women are empowering and they're making movements in their fields. And Mary, we know the international face of Nigeria, select model, and now signed in Germany, recent published model again, not once, not twice, recently published on Gala Greece. So just wanted to dive in, like how does it feel? What, you know, give us some background. Like, how did you get into modeling?
Girl, it's a long story.
So, oh my gosh, we're here. We need the tea.
Well, it's all started in Nigeria, and I've always loved camera. Sometimes I don't, being honest.
She loves to dance too.
Girl, my dance is so bad, but I dance anyway. Yeah. So I was approached by a photographer back home in Nigeria, and at first I didn't see it, but then again I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. You know, you get all the would I say attention?
No, that's what it is. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, it is not. But then again, it's not like the easiest thing, even though people don't understand that part of modeling. But I've been so fortunate, and I'm blessed. I feel like I'm happy so far.
Yeah.
I love that. So a photographer approached you, you started taking pictures, and then what happened next?
And
you said in Nigeria.
That was in Nigeria.
Yes.
So I started like going for like casting calls, and I would apply for the little gigs, and of course you get a lot of no's sometimes, and you get a lot of yes sometimes too. So it was one of those things that I didn't see it coming at first. Yeah. Then I kept going for casting calls, and I did a couple of runways in Nigeria. Then eventually, when I moved to America, I was living in Oklahoma at that point in my life. I know people never believed that I lived there, but I did live in Oklahoma.
Oklahoma? What you doing in OKC?
It's a long story.
Story for another time.
Story for another time.
Yeah.
Let's save that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I moved to Oklahoma, and I was doing like I would always fly out during the weekends when I don't have my full-time job. I'll fly out to go to Maryland or Washington DC just to like do modeling gigs, and you know.
Would you say that's what sparked like your that international modeling, or and before I get into that too, is since you went from Nigeria to America too, like how was that shift, and how has like your Nigerian roots shaped not only you today, but like even modeling today? Because you were doing runways in Nigeria, so what is that difference like?
The difference is like huge.
Really?
It's like, you know, when you tell someone you're a model in Nigeria, they don't take you serious. They're like, what's she doing? She needs to get a career, you know, that type of thing. So that experience in Nigeria is something that it's, you have to be someone that know what you want to be determined and not quit. Yeah. Because back home, people think that, you know, that they don't consider modeling job back home. Now it's a little bit different. It's getting better and better. But back, you know, as of 5-6 years ago, it's still like one of those things that you can't tell your parents, I want to be a model. So it was a very hard transition. I just had to know what I've always wanted. I've been that person that know what I want, and I stick to it. So that's what kept me going, sticking to just me being me. Like I want this, and I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, that's like one thing about Mary I admire so much. Even like we'll talk about her new swimwear line, and we'll get into that. But like when you have your eyes set to something, she goes for it. So
yeah, that's a really special quality. You know, a lot of people aren't built that way. You know, I feel like you've made such huge strides because you're like, I'm not going to take no for an answer. I'm going to make my way.
It's not easy.
But what's not even easier is like coming from like, you know, a foreign parent background, like, and you came from Nigeria, right? And then trying to break those barriers. Like, I know too, like, there's always a stigma and perception about certain things. So how did you break that perception? Like, when you just moved, like, how did your mom change her mind, or like your family?
So I have been someone that would always say I grew up as a child because I didn't have the luxury to be a child. I just had to know that, okay, this is the life you have, and you have to know it's either you stay here or you elevate. And at that point, that's the decision I made. I made to myself, and I'm like, you know, I want to be able to take care of my family. And I know that, you know, I just know that I cannot be a child. I need to grow up. And that was what kept me going. And that's still what keeps me going, actually.
Yeah. Was that hard at all? You know?
It's been a journey.
You grew up maybe earlier.
It's been a journey. It was never easy. And I would say I even though it wasn't easy and it was difficult, I'm very happy looking at the past, because that's what makes me, you know, the Mary people see today.
The star
is the whole package. You know, because I mean, without that, I don't think I would be where I am now. Yeah. And so I would never trade that for nothing.
Yeah, that's your testimony, and there's power in that.
Yes.
But I guess with that being said, would you say, was there a moment that you ever felt like giving up?
Oh, believe me, even when you feel, you know, as human beings, we tend to forget where we come from. A lot of people do. Yeah, people do. Like a lot of people do. Like, so as human beings, I realize that a lot of people, like a lot of times, we have this time that we are like, okay, we want more, right? And we think about the more that we want at that particular period, but we never thought. Take a minute to think about how we started and where we are. So a lot of people do, and that's a big problem.
Yeah, I think it's really important because, you know, my background, and just a little about Liz, I'll let her chime in, but like, you know, I come from a Haitian background, and it's a really big part of who I am and what has shaped me. And I'm proud of that. Like, and especially my ancestors fought for me to be here, okay? And they're still fighting in Haiti. So, like, I don't ever take that for granted. Like, when I get a chance to be behind the camera, like, when we book gigs, and it's a blessing. Yeah. It's a blessing because, like you said, like, even back in Haiti, if you were saying you're a model, like, right? Like,
I can only imagine, like, no, what's she doing?
Like, what is she, like, it's finance, lawyer, doctor, it's those jobs that you are like, they expect you, that's what they look like, that's success to them. So like trying to break that stereotype, even us doing this, right? Like you see our parents, they're like, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm like, Mom, this is our dream. Like, we enjoy doing this, but to foreign parents, and you know, obviously they support our dream, but to a certain extent, they don't know what the hell we're doing.
That's true.
They don't know what the heck we're doing. But I'll just let you chime in about your experience and your background.
I mean, hey, Samira hit on the nail. I'm first generation, right? Both my parents were from the Cape Verde Islands, so born and raised there. Oh. Yes. A lot of people think I'm Spanish, but I'm not. Okay.
She's
African. Thank you. Yeah. So, I mean, I agree. There's always the expectations, and you know, your family wants the best for you. But at the same time, they do have their limiting beliefs of kind of what's possible, you know, and what's good and what's not good, and what's a good job, what's not a good job, what you should do, and they're going to want the best for you. But at the same time, we have our own authenticity, our own things that we want to push the needle forward with. But I'm actually curious. I know obviously you've done so many amazing things in modeling and in fashion, but I also know you have, your new swimwear line, and I want to hear all about it. What made you want to start it, and tell us all about it.
Let's take a moment to see Mary's outfit.
Yeah.
Because
can we shine a light?
Her in a swimsuit, baby. Make sure y'all check out MS, okay? Mary Swim.
Because
swim, please. Guys, check it out. Check it out. You're gonna like a lot of stuff.
Because, girl, I'm gonna need does the body come with the bathing suit? please, because body's tea.
Thank you. So now that you talked about the body coming with the bathing suit, that takes me to the actual reason I started the brand. So a lot of time, being a model, I meet a lot of models, of course. And I realized that, as a model, we're all shaped. And it's not just forget about being a model, actually. As a human being, we're all shaped in different sizes and different form, right? And I realized that even though that a lot of models, when I meet a lot of models, like you're pretty, you have a great body, and most times, they don't appreciate themselves. Like I see a gorgeous looking model, and she's complaining about how much fat she has to lose. And I'm like this, I get confused, right? And every time I hear that, it's something that I was never able to digest or adjust in my brain, right? I started thinking about, what can I do to elevate or to make, at least in my own way, to make people understand that it's not, the clothes is important, but at the end of the day, it's not about the outfit. It's about you.
Who is
wearing it.
Absolutely.
A can wear an outfit and B can wear an outfit. They will not look the same because that's A and that's B.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's all about you, and it's all about the confidence. So when I started thinking about it, I'm like, what should I start with? I realized that when it comes to swimsuit or bathing suit, is the most uncomfortable thing for almost every lady on this planet.
Yep.
Absolutely.
To put on.
All the insecurities come out.
All the insecurities.
Yeah, the most vulnerability.
It's a whole lot of things. So I decided to take that part. It's not like the easiest route to take, but I challenged myself because I know that people need to start, girls, just everybody in general need to start appreciating their body and loving what they, who you are, the skin, your cellulite, whatever you have, it's all about you and the confidence. So that's why even my swimwear brand, M Swim, my logo is Be Beautiful, Be You. Because at the end of the day, it's you. It might be my design, but it's you that is wearing it.
Yeah.
And if you don't own your beauty, it doesn't matter what you wear. You might wear something worth 50 million. You're still going to feel like trash because you need to own yourself.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's
Mary.
that's the most reason that I started that.
I love that.
That means a lot. And just to shout out first, you could be wearing a $1 outfit.
That's true.
You can rock that $1.
Yes.
You can rock that $1 outfit, right? Versus that person that's wearing 15 million and isn't comfortable, or thousands of dollars and isn't comfortable in their own skin.
That is
so
true.
That's an important message.
Yeah. Let me tell you this. So talking about this, I had a friend, some girl she's a model, Long story short, I came in, she was like, your outfit looks, she was like, oh my God, you look good, and all that. Then the next thing, I changed my outfit. She's like, oh, the other one made you look like a whore. Then it sounded funny to me. Then I looked at her, and I was like, I came back to her, I was like, it depends on who is wearing the clothes. Another girl might wear it and look trashy, but not me.
Never you.
I'm like, not me. Because
Period.
it just depends on how you carry yourself. And she looked at me, she was like, you're right. It didn't look like that. So at the end of the day, it just depends on who is wearing it and how you carry yourself.
Absolutely. I was actually looking at the website for M Swim, and I saw on the very first page your the video, and you're in the street and you're in a bathing suit, right?
In Paris, with the baguette, butt naked, her booty cheeks out for the streets of Paris.
Yeah, but even with that, you were radiating confidence and self-love, and I feel like that's the message that you're telling everybody, right? You're walking through the streets owning it. You're not caring what anyone else is thinking or anything, and you look damn good.
With the carbs. With the carbs. She said she's gonna wear this bikini with this bread.
Yeah. With I forgot. She had the bread, the croissant.
She had the bread, she ate the croissant because we don't skip no meals over here, baby.
Yeah, no. We don't, you know.
We don't skip our meals.
Let them know.
I mean, yeah.
You gotta love yourself and you gotta eat too.
That's true. No, really,
Yeah.
that is true, because if you really need to work on yourself, it's always okay to work on yourself, but don't starve yourself. I'm not a fan of, I don't preach starving yourself, because I might eat when I'm hungry. No, that's the fun fact. She knows.
I know.
If you know me, you know.
I gotta keep up with her.
I'm hungry.
But I could eat a lot too.
Me too. We eating over here at Body Besties.
Yeah, you know.
But you know what you said about the baguette in the street of Paris, that still brings me back to the part of the reason M Swim, how I started it. So when I wanted to shoot that campaign, I thought about what will be the most uncomfortable situation for somebody putting on a swimsuit. And, I could shoot anywhere. I could do a lot of things. But I'm like, if I'm preaching confidence, I have to be an example of what I'm preaching.
Was it vulnerable to be out on the street?
Honestly, I was fine. I felt like I was in my own skin.
Yeah.
I never at a point feel like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I wanted people to understand that, you can wear whatever you want to wear. It's just all about you, and you need to understand that swimsuits, your body is part of you. It doesn't matter how you look, right?
Yeah.
What matters is how your confidence and how you protect, whatever you're wearing. Because like when I had the swimsuit, the swimsuit on, mind you, somebody else will wear that and get the negative, But I wore it because of how confident I was in the streets of Paris on a swimsuit.
Yeah.
Right.
I had a lot of people like, wow.
Yeah.
They were like impressed. And I know it might be crazy to a lot of people, but it's one of those things that, I just wanted to show people how confident you could be wearing swimsuit. You don't necessarily need to wear it in the street of Paris, but you can wear it in the pool. You can wear it on the beach. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just own your body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So. I think that's an important message because, and I always talk about this, that even a twin cannot be you, right? Even a twin doesn't have the same DNA. You have to own who you are. Own your body. The skin that you are in, God beautifully created you, and there is power in that. Yes. So, baby, they say everybody is swimsuit ready. Everybody.
Yes.
Swimsuit everybody, okay?
Yes.
Everybody. So I think that's extremely an important message. I guess fun facts too. We know Mary's the international model here. We're both also signed models too. And like I'm signed on the curve board and I'm in between sizes here, y'all. So it's tough, even being in my position, right? Like I don't fit in like the 0 to the 2 or 3s, but I'm also not fully a 12 onwards, and I'm the in-between sizer, and that's why I'm really just happy to be signed with Selects, because when they saw me, they saw that they knew they were like, it doesn't matter, like we want you on our board and like we love your energy. And it's also important to be around people that honors you and honors your body, because a lot of people in the industry, like if you don't fit the box or look a certain way,
girl, believe me, I have gone through it too often of that, because I do know it's like I like you said, Select are amazing. They are like family. I will tell you this. I've gone to New York, and some lady looked at me and was like, there is no in between. And I looked at her, I smiled. I just know that her agency is not for me. And I don't take it like offensive, because I as time goes by in the industry, you get to realize that not everybody is for you. Yeah. So when she told me there's no in between, and I looked at myself like, okay, well, good. You're not mine. I'm going to go. And it's okay. I don't take it personal. It's just one of those.
Yeah. I think it's so important to be or I think it's so important to go where you are loved,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
and your self-love and how you feel about yourself on the inside is what radiates on the outside.
Love yourself, people. No matter what they say, just love yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
100%.
number one above everything else.
Yeah.
It echoes and it trickles into every other part of
That's
your
true.
life.
Yeah, 100%. I just wanted to kind of move segments here. Life beyond the runway, life beyond modeling. And she took a deep sigh.
Oh my God! So
We know we know, but you're about empowering women. You have a swim brand now. You obviously booked and busy. We know you have an organization. You're about giving back to the community. We would love to know more about like your foundation and just life outside of that. Like, what are your plans? And let the people know what's going on with Mary.
What's tea, Mary?
okay, so let's start with the foundation.
Yeah.
The foundation is growing up back home in Nigeria, we didn't have a lot.
Yeah.
It's not even like the situation you didn't have a lot. It's like the situation that you didn't have at all. And I've always understand how that has shaped me to be who I am today, right? And I feel like that made me, that's a big part of my journey. Then getting to this point in my life that I am right now, and I know that I could give back to people. Why not?
Yeah.
So when I started my foundation, I've been self-funding, not because I'm rich, but because I understand this is where I'm from. And I understand there are people on daily basis that don't have food, and it's the fact. Because I've been there that my mom couldn't afford a cup of rice. She went to beg the next door neighbor for me to eat because I didn't eat all day. I was crying. And that memory, every time I talked about it, it's still like a graphic memory in my brain.
Yeah.
And when I got my mom a car, I got her a car sometimes like last year. I remember
shout
posting on my story,
out.
and I never knew a day like that would come, you know. It's one of those emotional things for me. Like, you have to be, like, the big thing about me, you have to be a good person, treat people right, and never forget where you're coming from. It doesn't matter how big you get in life, just never forget, because that's how you got to where you are.
Yeah.
And even the times that are not like the most perfect times are always still like, you know, there are the moments that should elevate you to go higher. Because eventually those are the times
That's
you're
your
going to think
drive.
about. Those are the times that, you know, yeah, that is your drive. That's
Yeah.
true. So, yeah, that's how I just, there's no how I can turn my back on giving back.
Well,
I can't.
I just want to take this moment to also say, like, I don't know if you have like a link, maybe we can direct them, because this is a self-funded foundation.
Thank you.
No,
Thank
this is like,
you.
this is important. And I, you know, where I come from, it's the same thing.
Same.
Just how it is. So we will get you the link to potentially, if anyone can go ahead and donate. But I also just wanted to see really quick. Sorry, it's kind of getting me a little bit teary-eyed because the way she, you know, I know what it feels like your upbringing to have, it's a lot of weight on your back too. And I just, to kind of like bring the energy to a little bit lighter. But when we went out to eat one time, and I think it was like the burger was like $30, and you were like, this $30 burger back home, that's like, how much money was it in Nigeria?
That's like a lot of money, actually. Like, that's like $30 burger. That's probably like maybe 20,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
like,
and then I
Nigeria.
remember you
It's
were
like,
saying
it's
it
big.
was a lot of money, and you were like, this burger's not even good. Well, you could have sent it back home.
You could have sent that money
I
home.
can send it back home and get like some medical supply. Like, seriously.
Wow.
Yeah, I
could
remember
go
she
get
was
some
saying that. She was
medical
like, seriously.
Yeah.
That would go a long way.
Oh, listen, when I went to Switzerland last month, actually like 2 months ago, I got this, my hotel, so I ordered the champagne, right? A glass of champagne.
I remember that video.
Girl, listen. When they send me the check, it was like $100. I did a whole video. It was a whole episode on my Instagram. I'm like, listen, there is no way I'm leaving my room again because I could send the money and get some hospital supply in Nigeria.
Yeah.
And if it was Dom Perignon, maybe I wasn't gonna be so upset. But it was Prosecco.
Oh,
It was the cheap stuff, okay?
Cheap stuff
for $100?
for $100.
Wow.
I remember that whole series. She was like, why they sent me this cheap wine? I could have sent this money back to
I'll
Nigeria.
send the money back home to Nigeria and help someone out,
You have to find that video so we can show that.
Oh my gosh.
No, but seriously, guys, if you have an opportunity in life to help somebody, do it. That's the best feeling ever. Anytime I give back to the society, I feel more happy.
Yeah.
There is something about it.
I think that's just a really good point. Because we're constantly moving. It's always like the next thing, the next bag, the next gig.
People don't even slow down to appreciate what is in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
People don't slow down to appreciate that. And a lot of times when I talk to people here, I understand that a lot of people here are so privileged that they don't appreciate the basic things that they have, that a lot of countries do not have.
Yeah.
And when I see that, it can make me get emotional. Like I was, during the election, I went to like an election watch party and all that, and they were having a conversation. And the conversation was so, of course, controversial, but I kept asking each and every one of them questions. And the things that they say was funny to me because it's a privileged life you live in and you're complaining about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I do understand both words because when you don't grow up in a certain place, you don't understand. And that's why a lot of Americans need to start traveling.
Yeah.
Because a lot of Americans don't have passport. Guys, don't come for me. I'm just saying that. I'm just saying the fact. No. This is the fact.
It's true. They say
that's
they
true.
were literally, I don't know if you've seen this meme that was like, how can somebody understand you when they don't even have a single passport
That's
stamp?
what I'm saying.
Like,
they can't
baby,
understand.
You can't take yourself.
They can't.
Yeah.
You literally can't get it.
You can't. You have to start living, understanding there is so much things to see in life and to learn. And honestly, traveling is educational, so why not?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I was just saying, I love that about you, Mary. Mary, I obviously you guys aren't here with us in person, but Mary gives off a really just genuine, like real vibe, and I can just tell, that you care, and you have a big heart.
Thank you.
And I love that about you. And you also, of course, you're making waves in the world with all kinds of things that you're up to, right? Booked and busy, babe. But I think that's such an important point to make, that gratitude, gratitude is everything. And there's so many people that don't have any gratitude for the smallest things.
They don't.
None.
Yeah.
They don't.
I love that you move through your world as much as you are successful and continuing to reach the stars over and over again. You also are able to recognize and appreciate like a good champagne, a good baguette, a nice sunrise, even when you're traveling, I can tell that you're appreciating, even if you're in a new country for a shoot or something, like you're soaking it in because there's people back home that
things that matters. Things that we neglect, those are the things that matters. Sorry for cutting you short.
No,
but
please.
whenever people always like, oh my God, I have a friend that would tell me, a lot of my friends are models, they are not working, they are complaining there is no gig, they are looking at Instagram and they like everybody is working. And I remember telling her, I'm like, she has an issue. You have to be contented with what you have. The things that you don't have, you can work towards it. But if you go to Instagram and look at people's profile and you get sad from it, you are the problem.
Yeah, jealousy is a thief of joy, baby.
Comparison.
And honestly, apart from the jealousy, life sometimes is not always as it seems. Nobody posts their bad side on the internet.
That too.
The minute you start understanding and realizing that that the internet is not the problem. The problem is what you pick to watch.
Period. Oh my God, you sound like me.
But it's true.
Yeah.
You can pick the good things because the same internet that people complain about.
Yeah.
There are better things to learn from the internet. But
Yeah.
you pick to get to a lifestyle that you don't know the way. Most of these things are maybe you don't even know. Right?
A lot of things are edited. A lot
Yeah.
of things,
Go.
you just see a highlight reel.
Go.
30 seconds, 15 seconds.
Go.
You're not seeing nothing.
Yeah, like when I was in Switzerland, let me tell you the funny part about internet. The real raw part about this.
The
is why I
real,
don't like-
real.
The real.
What's tea?
So when I was in Switzerland, right, I'm over there. I'm in this 5-star hotel. I was, of course, having a good time. I was alone, but I was crying in my room. I had people sending me message. This is the funny thing about internet. People sending me message and like, oh my God, Mary, you're living the life. How do you get to travel? And I'm in my room, I'm crying. That's the funny thing about the internet. Is it that I'm not in a 5-star hotel? Of course I was in a 5-star hotel. Of course I am in Switzerland. It's not addicted. But guess what? People go through things in their life. At that period of time, I just went through breakup. Yeah. I'm going through something.
Yeah.
But I'm traveling. I'm living that life, right? So my point is, the moral lesson is, don't go off of Instagram, because even though people are in a certain place, there is a lot of things that happens in people's lives that you don't know about. So if you go on Instagram and you feel like you want to look at people's life, you are the problem.
Yeah.
Get inspired, get motivated, and go to work.
Get to work, babe.
Get to work. Get to work. It's even like the food, almost the food that you're eating. Not actually food, but I'm saying what you're consuming even on social media, right?
Food for thought.
Yeah. Whatever you're consuming, if you're comparing and you're thinking this and that, or you're looking at all the negative stuff happening.
What you're digesting, whether it's healthy or whether it's bad for you, you're internalizing it.
Exactly.
And you don't even realize subconsciously how it's impacting your life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like you dropped so many gems. You were talking about the one I really liked was people forget where they come from. And you were saying it's an important part. No matter how big you get, you could be on billboards.
Yes.
Shit, you could be Kim Kardashian for all we care. You need to remember and be humble.
Remember your roots.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of this is for the models out there.
Yeah.
If you are a model, you are struggling and you keep wondering, when are you going to make it, right? Never think there is a model out there that have made it completely, because even the models you're thinking about, there is the other job that they're trying to get. When I watched Naomi Campbell said it took her 30-something years to get to work on, I think, Calvin Klein, don't quote me wrong.
Okay.
I was like, wow.
Yeah.
That is something people need to start understanding, that life is not always as glamorous as it looks on the outside. You have to work and be patient. Patience is consistency. Patience is virtue. And always remember the time you wanted to just work for a free show, because I feel like almost all models have done that. That time you're struggling to work for a free show. You're like, please call me, I want to work.
Exactly.
Remember that time.
Yeah.
So when you remember that time, you know that, okay, you're better off where you are today than yesterday.
That's why they say, like, you used to pray to be where you're at today.
Yeah, you're living your dreams right now.
You used to pray for it, and a lot of people, they forget once
they
once it happens, it's like, okay, next prayer, next prayer. No, baby, remember, you are living what you prayed for, this living dream. And I have to remind myself too, and I'm guilty of it.
Oh, me too.
Me too.
Yeah, we're guilty. We're not perfect. So we can sit here and chat it to you. We are not perfect. We'll sit here and we'll look at it and be like, okay, what's the next gig? It's sometimes we have to remind ourselves, like we really made it this far.
Yeah. And tell yourself, like, I'm proud of you, you know?
Yeah.
Tell yourself you're proud of yourself.
It's always the little things. Celebrate it. You know, I sometimes I look at myself, I think about, wow, that little girl that was in the village carrying things in her head, and she's in America. She's not only in America, she's here, and she's a citizen. Like, it's something that I prayed for, I wished for.
Yeah.
And it's a reality right now. And sometimes whenever, I think this actually is what keeps me going most times. So whenever I'm like, oh my God, you know, because at the end of the day, no matter how big you are, there's always something you're wishing for, you're praying for, right? Yeah. I'm always like, damn, look at where you are. Just soak it in. And I always do. I think that keeps me. So always remember your past.
Yeah.
It's a big one.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. I just want to get a really quick tips, because I know we talked about models. Just like, if any aspiring models, maybe any young girls watching this today, like, what would you tell them about if they're about to enter the modeling industry or they're going to get into it? What is the biggest thing you would tell them to look out for or tip?
I would say always be yourself, no matter which room you work in. No matter what you see people doing, be yourself. I feel like that's the most important one. And don't wish to be somebody else. So that still goes to be yourself.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people do that. And when you try to be somebody else, you're going to fail woefully. because you're not the person you can
And
never
people
be.
smell when you're ingenuine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like you
Yeah.
can smell
Yes.
that you're not being
Yes.
yourself. Like especially the modeling industry. I don't know what's up with these agents. They know.
They do know.
They do know.
They do know.
Yeah.
And consistency. Consistency.
No give up because you're
Don't
gonna get a
give
lot
up.
of no's.
Don't give up. Believe me.
Yes.
Oh my God, that is you get a lot of no's.
Oh my gosh. I have literally had people come up to me and be like, no, especially when I was like smaller, they're like, you're too big. They said one side was up, more like my one shoulder was more higher than the other. Girl,
Really?
I don't know.
Oh my God, this industry.
they said all these weird things. So, and I found a place like Select
Yeah.
that loves me for me.
I love that.
Yeah, I
That's
love
like
that.
you are the magic, and the magic is in you.
Yeah. It sounds
Yes.
cliche, but it's not. Like you need to understand the power of just being yourself.
Yeah. There is always someone for you out there. You
Yeah.
know, the industry. And as time goes by, I'm getting used to understanding that not every designer is looking for the same thing. So as a model, as a young model, always remember that. If this designer or this agency says no, it's okay. Maybe they already have
somebody
someone
that-
that, fit that requirement. They're not looking. Don't take it in a bad way. Just move on up to the next. And don't feel like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. So consistency is a really big thing.
Yeah. Thank you, Mary, so much for sharing. We're just going to end this episode really quickly with the flash round. It'll just be quick.
Ooh,
We want to
questions.
hear really quick a couple things. Most embarrassing moment on the runway.
Oh, this one. I
Yeah.
Okay, so this was not actually on the runway, but it was on the stage. So and it was
Close
very,
enough.
It was very, very embarrassing. I went on a stage to give speech because I won a beauty queen sometime a few years ago. So I did a whole charity event and they wanted me to come on the stage to give a speech. Man. It's still graphic in my eyes. But anyways, I went there and I totally forgot my speech.
Oh,
I'm not kidding.
you froze.
You
froze?
No way.
Yeah.
So what'd you end up saying?
I just said what came to my mind.
Oh my gosh, if you know, Mary.
I was a little bit, but anyways, it turned out okay. At
You
the end
winged
of the day. It turned out okay.
You
Yeah.
winged it. You
turned
winged
out
it.
okay.
So do you think they realized that you were winging it?
I don't know if they did, but if they did, well, I don't know.
So maybe it just felt embarrassing inside of you, but it wasn't embarrassing really.
I felt like it was a little bit embarrassing, honestly.
She's like I went completely blank.
Well, because
Yeah.
listen, I never practiced my speech, which I probably should start doing. I never practice speech. I just say what comes from my heart. But that fateful day was so different. And normally I can talk. But that day was so different. I don't know what happened.
You went mute.
I
You're
was like
Man.
Yeah.
Okay, next round. Are you ready? Next question.
Yeah.
Flats or heels forever?
heels all the time, every day. Sorry.
Yeah.
Period. That was an
Sorry.
easy one.
Every day.
What's your go-to needs to be in your purse at all times?
My lip gloss.
Do you have a specific one?
I have this very lip gloss I buy from I do have the Dior, but I have this very
I know which one you're talking about.
I love that lip gloss.
You have to send me a picture so I can
love
have
that-
them so they can
love
see
that
it.
lip
Yeah.
gloss.
Yeah.
What's tea? You're gonna have to let us know. I want
think
it
it's-
too.
Yeah, she'll add it. And a dream modeling gig that you haven't done yet.
There is quite a few, but I will start with I would like to work for Dior Beauty.
I can see that. Dior, call my girl.
I mean,
Okay,
I
you're
actually use their
first.
foundation right now, so
Hey.
yes.
Okay, last question. If you could wear only one outfit for the rest of your life, what would you wear?
Wait, I want to take a guess on it.
Okay,
I guess.
let's see.
It would be M Swim, honey.
That is a good guess. That is a good guess. That
like,
is a
no.
good guess. But no, it's not a no. It's a yes.
Okay.
But I am very versatile, and I have a style, but I don't have a specific style. I'm very versatile, and I like to explore.
Yeah.
So you might see me today with a very long dress,
And tomorrow
you
she'll
see
be
me with a
like
crop
punk rock
top.
or punk rock
Yes.
or something.
Or you might even see me with a suit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am versatile, and I feel like fashion should be like that. Well, I'm not trying to change people with their opinion, but my fashion is like that. I like to experience life. It's like, what I feel about the day is what I wear.
Yeah.
If I wake up feeling like, ooh, I'm gonna be like,
Yeah.
So if you could only pick one, because you said everything.
I can't.
She said,
It's hard to pick. I can't pick one.
All right, we'll take it.
Well, thank you so much, Mary.
Thank
You
you
know,
for
she's so
having
booked
me.
and busy, guys. I have been trying to get married for months, so we just really appreciate you taking the time out of your day. And as you know, guys, we may stir the pot,
It's gonna get hot.
but trust.
You just hit the jackpot. Okay.
Thank you for tuning in to Baddie Besties. Make sure you guys tap in. We are going to drop Mary's foundation. So if you could just take a moment, even $1, it will help and it will go a long way. So we really appreciate that. We'll make sure to add the link. And we love you guys.
Yeah, you know where to find us.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.